So good morning all. So let us start the session. In previous class, we discussed about testing tools. So different testing tools: WinRunner, LoadRunner, and Jmeter. This we see the introduction in last class. Today class we are going to see about WinRunner. So what is WinRunner? So WinRunner is a testing tool. So WinRunner is a software testing tool. The WinRunner is the most used automated software testing tool. The main features of WinRunner are: it is developed by Mercury Interactive, which is the company developed this WinRunner. It is a functionality testing tool. It supports the CS and web technologies such as VB, VC++, D2K, Java, HTML, Power Filter, Delphi, and Signal ERPs. That means, so by using the WinRunner software testing tool, we are going to test the softwares or applications developing by using these technologies. To support .NET, XML, SAP, the peoples of Oracle applications, the multimedia, we can use Qt. We use Qt. WinRunner run on Windows only. XML run only Unix and Linux. This WinRunner tool developed in C on VC++ environment. To automate our manual test, WinRunner use TCL. So TCL means the test script language like C. So simply saying, so WinRunner is a software testing tool. WinRunner is a automated software testing tool. This WinRunner software we are going to run on Windows only. The main process in WinRunner, how we are going to test the applications or software means the first step is learning. The first step is learning. Recognition of objects and windows in our application by WinRunner is called learning. That means first the WinRunner can recognize the objects. This we are called as a learning process. Learning. So WinRunner 7.0 follows auto learning. Second step is recording. WinRunner records our manual business operations in TCM. Test script language, the edit script. Depending on corresponding manual test engineers insert checkpoints that record script. The first one is learning, which is recognizing the objects. The next step is recording. WinRunner records manual operations in the test scripting language. Recording is next, edit the script. It depends on corresponding manual test. The test engineer inserts checkpoints. The test engineer inserts checkpoints into the record script. After that, run the script. During the test script execution, WinRunner compare tester given expected values and application actual values and returns results. So when you run the script, during the execution of the script, the WinRunner compare tester given expected values. This compare given expected values and application actual values and returns results. And last step is analyze results. The tester analyzes the two given results to concentrate on defect tracking if required. That means based on the expected results and actual values, they can analyze the result, and these testers analyze the two given results to concentrate on defect tracking if required. So this is about the introduction to WinRunner. WinRunner. So how to use WinRunner? So to use the WinRunner, you're going to install the WinRunner software in your system. The WinRunner is installed in your system. How to start? Starting WinRunner. To start WinRunner, you're going to choose Programs, WinRunner, WinRunner on the Start menu. WinRunner record a run engine icon appears in the status area of the Windows taskbar. So this engine establishes and maintains the connection between WinRunner and the application being tested. So this is the icon appears on the status bar. So how to start WinRunner means the programs, the WinRunner. You select the WinRunner on the start menu. The WinRunner record or run engine. This is the icon appears in the status area of the Windows taskbar. Okay. Now, so this is the WinRunner add-in manager dialog box. So after clicking on the icon, this dialog box will be open. WinRunner add-in manager. This we are called as a WinRunner add manager dialog. Contain a list of add-ins available on your computer. So the WinRunner includes the ActiveX controls, the Power Builders, Visual Basic, and Web Test add-ins. These can add with the help of this dialog. So after this, this is the then after this is the WinRunner window. So this WinRunner window opens. From the welcome WinRunner window, you can click new test to create a new test, or click open test to open an existing test, or click review to view an overview of WinRunner in your default browser. The welcome dialog box for your WinRunner. First option is a new test. So creating a new test script. This is the open test option, that means open an existing test script. So this is the quick review, that means what's the purpose of this WinRunner. The overview of WinRunner opened in default web browser. Okay. So this is the WinRunner software. The upper line, this we are called as a WinRunner title bar. This we are called as a WinRunner title bar. And so these we are called as a debug tools. Debug tools. So this we are called as a file toolbar. The file. This we are called as a test toolbar. Line. We called as a test toolbar. So this is user toolbar. This is the status bar. And in this area, we are going to test the software, test the code. The main WinRunner window. The main WinRunner window contains the following key elements. One is title bar. The title bar contains display the name and path of the currently open test. So display the name of the test and path of the currently open test. So next one, file toolbar. It provides easy access to frequently performed tasks such as opening and saving tests and viewing test results. Debug toolbar. It provides easy access to buttons used while debugging tests. Test toolbar provides easy access to buttons used while running and maintaining tests. The user toolbar displays the tools you frequently use to create test script, By default, the user toolbar is hidden. To display the debug toolbar, choose the view user toolbar. That means by default, the user toolbar is disabled. So how we can enable means by using this the view menu. In that view menu, there is a user toolbar is there. If you click this user toolbar, then this user toolbar will be enabled. Next, status bar. So this displays information on the current command, the line number of the insertion point, and the name of the current results folder. So these are the different elements in WinRunner window. Title bar represents the name. File toolbar represents the frequently used task, that means save the file, open the file. So these options are displayed in the file toolbar. So debug toolbar is nothing but you are directly using some debugging tools. So by using this debugging toolbar, if the debug toolbar is not available, then you are going to use these tools or use these options from the menu bar. Okay. So next, so test toolbar. So this is also similar to debug toolbar. Here they are providing the buttons used to while running and maintaining the tests, and so user toolbar and status bar. Okay, so these are the elements on WinRunner window. The test window. So this is the test window. Okay. So this is test window. You create and run WinRunner tests in the test window. It contains the following elements. First one, test window title bar. So this we are called as a test window title bar. Then there is a icon. This we are called as a execution arrow. Execution arrow. So this is the insertion point. We are seeing here. This we are called as a insertion point. Similarly, so this is the test script. The test window title bar with the name of the open test. Test script with statement generated by recording and are programming in TSL, the Mercury Interactive Test Script language. The test script with statement, that means all these are the statements. Test script statements generated by recording and are programming in TSL. So TSL means test script language. WinRunner. And execution arrow, which indicates the line of the test script being executed. So during a test run, which if this execution arrow at this place. Now, so this instruction you are going to execute now. Execution arrow, which indicates the line of the test script being executed during a test run. On the line that will next run if you select the run from arrow option. Insertion point, which indicates where you can insert or edit text. So this is about test window. So mapping the GUI. So mapping the GUI. How a test identify GUI objects. We create tests by recording or programming test script. What is a test script means? Test script consists of statements in Mercury Interactive Test language. That means a WinRunner. By using this language, we are going to write a test script. Each TSL statement represents the mouse and keyboard input to the application being tested. So how we are going to identify GUI objects means you are going to write a test script. So this test script statements represents the mouse and keyboard input to the application being started. Next, the WinRunner uses a logical name to identify each object. For example, print for a print dialog box or OK for OK button. For print, for a you are going to use the logical name. This is the logical name. So print. So print for print dialog box or OK for an OK button. The logical name is actually a nickname for the object's physical description. The physical description contain a list of objects, the physical properties. The print dialog box, for example, is identified as a window with label print. The logical name and the physical description together ensures that each UI object has its own unique identification. So, for example, so there is a print dialog box. The print dialog box. Now, so this dialog box can be identified with the logical name print. Okay, with the logical name print. Now, so these logical name and the physical description together ensure that the GUI object has its own unique identification in the application. So these are the physical descriptions. Okay, so this is the test script. So this is the GUI map. So this is the application being tested. So first, WinRunner reads the logical name in the test script and refers to the GUI map. Here, so this is the logical name we are going to give. For example, for dialog box, so print dialog box, we are going to use the logical name print. Second, WinRunner matches the logical name with the physical description. And third one, that means this is the logical name. Here you can specify here the same print. So here the physical description you can specify in this box. And you are going to give the logical name to this physical description. Third step, WinRunner uses the physical description to find an object in the application and window name. Physical description. The first you are going to reads the logical name, the test script. It refers to the GUI map. And second one, so WinRunner matches the logical name with the physical description. Third step, WinRunner uses the physical description to find an object in the application. So teaching WinRunner the GUI of your application. The first step already we discussed that learning. So like a human user, WinRunner must learn the GUI of an application in order to work with it. When you work in the GUI map file, the test mode, you don't need to take any special steps to teach WinRunner the GUI of your application. So WinRunner automatically learns the GUI of your application while you record. So like human users, WinRunner also must learn the GUI of an application. So when you work in the GUI map file for test mode, you don't need to take any special steps to teach WinRunner the GUI of your application. Automatically, the WinRunner can learn the GUI of your application. So while you are recording your test cases, automatically the WinRunner learn about your GUI. So when you work in the global GUI map file, mode, you need to teach WinRunner the information it needs about the properties of GUI object. So WinRunner can learn this information in the following ways. The first one, using the rapid test script wizard to learn the properties of all GUI objects in every window in your application. So recording in your application to learn the properties of all GUI objects on which you record. So clicking the Learn button in the GUI map editor to learn the properties of an individual GUI object window or all GUI objects in the window. Okay, how? The WinRunner can learn the information in three ways. So one is using the rapid test script wizard, and second one is record in your application to learn the properties of all GUI objects, and third one, clicking pressing the learn button in the GUI map editor. About understanding test runs. When you run a test, WinRunner interprets your test script line by line. The execution arrow in the left margin of the test script marks each TSL statement as it is interpreted. As the test runs, WinRunner operates your application as though a person were at the controls. So that means, so how you are going to understand the test run means, so when you run any test, so for example, you write some TSL statements. So test script by using this language, they're going to write some statements. Now, each line is interpreted as the test runs. WinRunner operates your application as though a person were at the controls. You can run your tests in three modes. One is the verify the run mode to check your application, debug run mode to debug your test script, and update run mode to update the expected results. So these are the three modes you are going to run on your tests. So verify run mode to check your application, so debug run mode to debug your test script, and update run mode to update the expected results. So recording test. So how to record test? There are two modes are available for recording tests. One is context sensitive records, another one is analog records keyboarding. So context sensitive records, the operations you perform on your application by identifying graphical user interface objects. The first one is context sensitive records. The operations you perform on your application by identifying graphical user interface objects. And second one is analog records, keyboard input, mouse clicks, and the precise X and Y coordinates traveled by the mouse pointer across the screen. Okay, first one is the context sensitive records. The context sensitive records. So these can perform based on the GUI objects, for example, buttons, labels like this. And second one, analog records. So analog records is performing based on the keyboard input, so mouse clicks and precise the mouse clicks, mouse up or mouse down, so mouse move, and keyboard inputs. What is the input you are going to key press and key up, and the precise X and Y coordinates traveled by the mouse pointer across the screen. To create a test script, we perform the following main steps. One, so decide on the functionality you want to test. Decide on the functionality you want to test. Determine the checkpoints and synchronization points you need in the test script. Second one, the document general information about the test in the test properties dialog box. The third one, choose a record mode, either case sensitive or analog, and record the test on your application. And fourth one, assign a test name and save the test in the file system or in your test directory. To create the test script. So for example, you want to create a test script. For that, you are going to follow some steps. The first step is, what is the functionality you want to test, and to determine the checkpoints and synchronization points. So this is the first step you are going to follow. The first one, so decide the functionality you want to test, and to determine the checkpoints and synchronization points. And second one, so document general information about the test in the test properties dialog. That means the logical name. All these information you are going to give to the as a test property in the test properties dialog. The next one, choose record. So there are two types of record modes. One is context sensitive record, another one is analog record. Now, in this, you are going to select one, either context sensitive or analog. And next, assign the test name for this script. You are going to assign test name and save the test in the file system or your test directory project. That means you are going to save these TSN instructions. Next, what is context sensitive records? The context sensitive mode records the operations you perform on your application in terms of GUI objects. As you record, WinRunner identifies each GUI object you click, such as window, button, or list, and the type of operation performed, such as drag, click, or select. That means, so for example, if you click open button in an open dialog box, WinRunner records the following: button press open, button press open. So this is the dialog box. This is the open dialog box. In this is the open button. For example, if you click the open button in the open dialog box, then the WinRunner records the following: the button press open. When it runs the test, WinRunner looks for the open dialog box, and the open button represents in the test script. If an subsequent runs of the test, the button is in a different location in the open dialog box, WinRunner is still able to find it. Now, if you open this, the open button here, then the open button below the, so that means if this button open is above the cancel button, and if the open button is here, check that. So this is the open button is below the cancel button. That means when you are going to check this, you identify the location of this GUI. The open button is above the cancel button or below the cancel button. Okay. So this you are the context sensitive mode. So context sensitive mode is nothing but we are going to record the operations based on the GUI objects in terms of GUI objects. And next one, analog. Next one, analog. Tests using analog recording. Analog recording. Analog mode records the keyboard input, mouse clicks, and the exact path traveled by your mouse. So, for example, if you choose open command from file menu in your application, WinRunner records the movements of the mouse pointer on the screen. When WinRunner executes the test, the mouse pointer retraces the coordinates. What it means? For example, you are creating a test using analog recording. Analog recording. So, for example, this is the open button. So this is the open button. Now, how we can check? So in analog mode, we are going to check that it's based on the mouse clicks. So if I mouse click, that means the mouse down. If I mouse down, the open dialog box will be open. Consider this open button is it coordinate some x and y coordinates. X and y coordinates. Okay. So that means in analog mode, you are going to record the keyboard inputs, the mouse clicks, and how the mouse pointer is traveled, all these things. The next one, so working with tests. So how we are going to execute the tests. So running a test to check your application. When you run a test to check the behavior of your application, WinRunner compares the current results with the expected results. You specify the folder in which to save the verification results for test. To run a test to check your application, first step, if your test is not already open, then choose File, Open, or click the Open button to open the test. Second, so make sure that Verify is selected from the list of run modes on the test toolbar. Next step, choose the appropriate test menu commands or click on the run buttons. The run test dialog box open, so displaying a default test run name for the verification results. Okay, so this is the default test dialog box. So this contains test run name, the OK, so cancel, help, so use, so debug mode, and display the best results at the end of run. And next step, you can save the test results under the default test run name. To use a different name, so type in a new name or select an existing name from the list. To instruct WinRunner to display the test results automatically, so following the test run by default, select the display the test results at the end of the run checkbox. So this is the checkbox. You can save the test results under the default test run name. So here, the default test run name. So you can save that, and you can check this button. That button display that button contains a message that display the results at end of run. Now, so click OK button. The run test dialog box closes, and WinRunner runs the test according to the run command you chose. So last step, test results are saved with the test run name you specify. Okay. The first one is to run a test to check your application. So if your test is, so for example, you write a set of instructions to test your application. So first you are going to open your test and make sure that the verify is selected from the list of run modes on the test toolbar, and choose appropriate test menu commands or one of the run buttons. Now, the run test, the dialog box open and display a default test run name for the verification result. In this, you can save the test results under the default test run name and select the display test results at the end of run checkbox. And the test results are saved with the test run name you specified. You specify some name. The test results are saved with the test run name. What you specified in this dialog. The next one, running a test to debug your test script. First one, the to run a test to check your application. Here we are checking our application. Now here, so running a test to debug your test script. So when you run a test to debug your test script, the WinRunner compares current results with the expected results. Any differences are saved in the debug results folder. Each time you run the test in the debug mode, WinRunner overrides the previous debug results. You run a test to debug your test scripts. So first, if your test is not already open, choose File Open to open the test. Select Debug from the drop-down list of run modes on the test toolbar. Choose the appropriate run or debug menu command. To execute the entire test, choose Test Run from Top or click the From Top button. The test runs from the top of the test script and generates a set of debug results. To run part of the test, choose one of the following commands or click one of the corresponding buttons. So one is the test run arrow, the run from arrow. Another one is test run minimize from arrow. So these are the buttons. And the debug step. This is the step. So debug step, so debug step into, debug step out, and debug step to cursor. The test runs according to the command you chose and generates a set of debug results. Okay, this is about debugging. So how to debug means to test. If your test is not open, then you are going to open them by using the file menu and select your debug from drop down list of run modes on the test toolbar and choose appropriate run or debug menu. Choose it from a test and run from top. Run from top. So these the test runs from the top of the test script and generates a set of debug results. So after that, you're going to use the run from arrow and debug the step and debug the step into, debug the step out, so debug the step to cursor. So these are the test run according to the command you chose and generates a set of debug results. Last one, running a test to update expected results. To update expected results. So this is also similar. When you run a test to update expected results, the new results are replaced. The expected results created earlier and become the basis of comparison for subsequent test runs. So when you run a test to update expected results, the new results replaces the expected results so created earlier and become the basis of comparison for subsequent test runs. To run a test to update the expected results, if your test is not already open, then choose File Open, select Update from the list of run modes, choose the appropriate test menu command. Next, to update the entire set of expected results, choose Test, Run from Top, or Click from Top button. To update only a portion of the expected results, choose one of the following commands or click one of the corresponding buttons. The buttons are, you are going to click either test, run from arrow, so test, run minimize from arrow, and again debug step into, debug step out, debug step to cursor. Now WinRunner runs the test according to the test menu command you chose and updates the expected results. Okay. Thank you all. We meet in tomorrow class. Thank you.